All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. And of course, thanks for subscribing. Truly appreciate the support. We're back at it with FSD 12.5.4. A little bit of a hiatus for us, transitioning from an older car, quote unquote older car, 2022 build to now 2024 build. Always poses some challenges for us, specifically when it comes to early access. Being able to transfer early access from one car to the next has been a bit of a challenge for us. So we've been having a little bit of a delay, plus being away from the car for a bit. So we haven't been able to put out videos in more detail that have been coming out about actually Smart Summon, all that good stuff. But hopefully we'll try to catch up soon. But for now, we're going to focus on FSD and the latest build of 12.5.4 coming from 12.5.3, which had its issues specifically around hitting curbs twice, one on camera, one off camera. So we're going to be taking a closer look at that, making sure that we don't have any issues with this latest build and maybe they fixed it. Okay, so here we go. 12.5.4, our regression test path, starting with turn 1. I'll engage from the shoulder and go here. Okay, so as we normally do when we start builds, sometimes it starts from the shoulder, sometimes it doesn't. This is one of those cases where it's not starting from the shoulder. I'll go here, get the cameras up. But there are new graphics here. New graphics, a little delineation in line between auto and max for auto max, which is interesting. I'll let the next car pass and then I'll go. Then we'll start turn 1. Oh, there we go. It's not going to go. Give us some accelerator. Still a little hesitant. A little more accelerator. Still not going. Here we go. Now we got the line. Now we're going. So a little bit of trouble out the gate, but we'll see. Good acceleration coming up here, slowing down nicely. Extra caution on the proximity to the curbs. Coming to a full stop, looking for that recoil and that rebound to be really quickly. Decent there, creeping up for visibility. Little hesitation, but then it goes. Good job on turn 1. Not too close to the curb, but the real test is going to be here. And it's typically only right turns that we see the issue with curb proximity. Coming up to our second turn here. Hopefully it stages at a good angle and then is able to make the turn properly with no issue with the curb. Good job. Good mile an hour. Good turn. Good job there. A little winding road scenario here. Typically put it on a turn signal in a hardware 3. Went away in hardware 4. Let's see if it comes back. It does not. Still kind of close there. Gauges some distance because of that car, but overall solid so far. So nothing in terms of a regression except for this pothole, which was pretty big. I should have stopped that one. No pothole avoidance yet. Good job here on the winding road. And good job there, good distance. Good job on the winding road. Coming up to our unprotected left. Now it says attention monitoring unavailable. Maybe a little slight force. Maybe it had a hard time seeing my face. All right. Has an opening and goes for it and commits. Good job of unprotected left. Good job there. So a little bit of an issue with the attention monitoring here for this particular drive, and probably because this is my first drive on this build, where maybe it doesn't have a clear enough view of my face. And now here comes back attention monitoring active. One cool thing about the newer cars is they have the new Tesla glass for the roofs. So that basically means that you get more light coming in, even though it retains that look and rejects the harmful rays, the UV rays, and the heat. So the cabin should be overall brighter, which should bode well for seeing people's faces. So that's pretty good. So far, so good. No major regressions, but also no major leaps forwards from things that we've already seen before, previous drives we've had on 12.5. So this is sort of par for the course so far, which is great. It's what you want to see from a new build is just no regressions, even if the updates are moderate. I'll stop here. It did not see this person. Autopilot failed to see pedestrian crossing the road. Stop preemptively. Wrong button. Sorry, wrong car, wrong button. So there was a scenario where somebody was letting the person pass, and the car was so far along, was like to the side view mirror, and if it went straight and stopped here, it would have blocked their path. So I just preemptively stopped it because it didn't see it or didn't recognize that person was crossing, and proceeded to go forward. No big deal. Didn't think it was going to hit her or anything like that. Just thought it was going to block our path from being able to walk. So just being courteous there. So incidental disengagement, if you will. Thinks that this guy is doing something. So extra caution there, where he actually could see that person and take action. And now we're off. Signaling but not taking action, so thinking with its turn signals. That's not great. I don't like that behavior. That's a little bit of a regression, because that indicates the indecisiveness of lane selection when you're coming up to a light around these parts, because the divider is typically going to be closer to where the light is and not on the main road. And sometimes it's a little bit faint, whatever the case may be, but being able to have your turn signal on and not make the action just means I'm unsure and the car is unsure of what it wants to do. Consistent, good deceleration and acceleration from the last build, which was great, which is much improved from previous builds before that, where the car sort of decelerates very aggressively, very hard, makes it uncomfortable, and also accelerates pretty hard. So this is a really good balance, similar to the last build. So it seems very familiar to the last build. Again, just hoping it makes some adjustments that the last build didn't, which was around proximity of curbs and being able to hit those curbs. We came out lucky twice already, where it kind of rolled over the curb and the curb was low. But I'm hoping that's no longer an issue with this build, but we'll see. I don't want to take one for the team if I don't have to. Train coming, still no visualization of a train, still recognize it as a truck, a bunch of trucks and semis and buses and stuff, so no visualization there yet. Should definitely get that at some point. Any type of object that interacts with the road and the traffic conditions should at least be visualized properly. Staging our final turn here, getting over to the right side of the lane. Turn signal on early, which is great. And now we just need to make a nice smooth turn and not get too close to that curb. Good job taking your time, a little bit more methodical than normal, not as smooth as last time, but it did it competently and didn't hit the curb. So that's a win in my book. What I would like to be even better is just the consistency. Take that turn the same way every time if you have the same path. If nothing is obstructing its ability to take that turn, it should take it the same way every single time. That consistency is going to build trust and confidence. Pulling over to the side of the road here. I'm going to take over here. We're at the end of our trip. And I'll just pull right here for a second. Okay, so that was the end of the first pass, the regression test path. It did pretty well. In terms of confidence, I think it was pretty confident overall. The issue with the disengagement was just about the car being so far ahead and not thinking that the person needed to cross when they were sort of at where the mirror is. So that was no big issue. Otherwise, yeah, the confidence was still sky high. The level of comfort was still there. Again, this is the newer car as well, so that makes it even more comfortable over the previous car, over hardware 3 car. But the comfort was sky high, very comfortable. Stopping, acceleration, and deceleration was very comfortable. Like I mentioned, turns were comfortable, even though methodical, and everything was pretty much good to go in terms of comfort. In terms of safety, same deal, same thing. I was just being extra safe and extra cautious and extra polite by disengaging and letting that person cross in the middle of the road where they shouldn't have been crossing in the first place. But it is what it is. And in terms of decision making, I think it made all the right decisions. Again, I think that person was just too far ahead, and that's why I didn't make the decision to stop and let them pass. It just saw them standing on the side of the road. They hadn't moved, and the person in the other lane flashed their lights to indicate that they should move. But at that point, our car was getting ready to stage itself in the lane. So no big deal there. So overall, I think it's pretty much on par with the last version. Nothing majorly different or wrong or less comfortable than before. So I'm going to give it an Uber Black levels of comfort here for this particular drive. Okay, so let's not stop here. Let's take it out to another drive, another challenge, and see what it can do and see how it fares. All right, guys, picking up right where we left off, we're going to go for our second pass in this first build of 12.5.4. See what it does. I'm going to try to pull over from the shoulder, or pull out from the shoulder like I did before, and see if it fares any different now that it had some runtime behind it. Let's let some cars pass quickly, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, this time it pulls off, no problem. All right, so I'm going to put it on a little bit of a different path just to see some different scenarios. We have a median in this street here going this way. Makes a full stop. There's a little bit of a median here. It has to try to get around. Good job adjusting and taking your time. Good job being cautious. That's the level of behavior we need to see. Thinks the person is passing as I'm giving it the thumbs up. Not the case. Extra caution there, no problem. No cars were around. If a car was around, then it would have been a problem. But I'm not going to fault it for being extra cautious around dogs and pedestrians and things like that. But good job navigating around that median. It's a tough one, easy to hit the curb. So good job course correcting mid-turn and slowing down to make sure they were being methodical about and intentional about the turn and the trajectory. Same deal here. Very smooth, very careful. So under some of these shadow conditions, maybe it's maybe having issues with my face. I tend to notice that it gets better over time. The more you use it after each build, it kind of kicks back in and never is an issue before. But right now we have some new messaging here. Attention monitoring unavailable, attention monitoring unavailable for some reason, device in hand, things like that. I've seen those messages pop up from other people as well. Taking this time, going for it, good distance from the curb, good strong acceleration, getting out, and we're good to go. Auto offset seems to be consistent as well in this build, where it's not going too far over the limit and not going way below the limit. So they're getting that happy middle ground to the flow of traffic, which is great. Haven't yet tested a scenario where there are no cars around. So that'll be interesting to see how it does when it's the only lead car and how it interprets what the speed limit should be. But definitely see the new messaging, monitoring unavailable. It is available based on its ability to see my face clearly. Big bumps here. Door opening. Slows down nicely to evade. Going over the double yellow just a little bit, but also going very slowly and methodically. So that's what we want to see, that level of caution and precaution around what people are doing around it and how the car should act. Slight turn of force here because the tension monitoring is disabled. Hopefully it'll kick back in. So I think the sunglasses are supposed to work with this one. Tension monitoring is active again. I think sunglasses are supposed to work on this particular build. I'm not a sunglasses person, so I don't really wear them. but I will try them out and see if it works. Not on this run, but the next run. Good turn signal to indicate going around and go nice and slow. That's what we want to see from FSD. We want to see that level of precision, but we also want to see that level of safety. That's going to build confidence and comfort. Remember, in your car right now, we're not a driver. We're not a passenger or a passive passenger. We're an active passenger, effectively sitting in the driver's seat, monitoring the car, supervising the car, making sure that they're doing the right things and knowing when to take over as needed. And so that's a new level of attentiveness that humans have to be accustomed to. And as a result, you want to be comfortable when you're taking drives in that position, and taking your time and doing it right gives that level of comfort. Whether you're an active passenger sitting in the driver's seat and supervising, a passive passenger sitting in the passenger seat or back seat, that's what you want to see. Big pothole. Good job slowing down for the truck. And then that recoil from slowing down, right back into the action. Very good. Keeps the momentum, keeps the flow, but also is very comfortable when you do it very easy. Well, this is a curb I'm a lot nervous for, I should say. My confidence has been rattled since it went over 2 curbs, especially for a newer vehicle. So I'm really, really nervous about this one because it's kind of sharp. I'm going to just have my foot hovering and be prepared to take over. I usually take over because cars sometimes pull a little bit further, causing it to do something weird. Let's see what happens here. Close. Oh, good job. Okay. Good job. It course corrected. And I like that. I like that it did it. I don't like that it had to do it, but I like that it did it. I feel like I can take that turn, whether I know it or not know it. I can take it wide as I need to take it. I see that FSD tries to take things as close as it needs to take it, or as close as it can take it without adjusting. And then if it feels like it's going to be too close, it then readjusts. I prefer to go wider and err on the side of caution versus going tight. Now, if a car was pulled too far up, like I mentioned, then you can go tight. But if they're not up and they're right at the limit line where they're supposed to be, you should go as wide as possible to just completely avoid the issue of a curb. Reaction time and reaction speed is on point. This is no different than the last build, but it's spot on in terms of how it's reacting to things, not necessarily overreacting to things, but just slowing down, speeding back up, acceleration, deceleration, the rebound, the recoil from that scenario is spot on. A little bit of a median here. It usually takes this kind of close. As you can see here, a little bit close for my taste. Again, I just hope it takes the nice trajectory and goes wide. One of the things I wish they could do is when at a stoplight and making a turn, if they can do sort of a grayed out path planner to show what the intention is, so you can kind of get a sense of what the trajectory is going to be before it goes. We have the green light. Left on green doesn't recognize that. I'm going to give it some accelerator. Ooh, kind of close. It made it. It did it. No issue. I can't complain in that regard, but it was a little close. I did have to give it a little bit of accelerator, and I'm always nervous when I have to give accelerator on a turn because I don't know if that's rushing its ability to calculate trajectory, and then it might make a mistake versus going at the methodical pace that it needs to go to make the adjustment. Good job avoiding those little things in the road. I used to just like hit those or nick the mirror, almost nick the mirror with those, but it's done a good job recognizing them, even though it doesn't visualize it. That's the one thing I will say about 12.5 or version 12 in general, is it doesn't visualize everything that the car sees. And that's a problem because we need to know that the car sees the thing and can avoid it. And when it's on the screen, it gives you a little bit more confidence that the car sees it. So I wish they would bring, cones, trash cans, debris, small animals, whatever it is, just have it on the screen if you're able to visualize it. And I must be hitting a record because attention monitoring is going off and on me today. I'm not sure if it's camera placement. I'm not sure if it's my hat. I'm not sure what it is. It's not a low brow hat, but it is what it is. Turn signals on early, which is what I appreciate. Staging lane nicely. Nice smooth slowdown. Nice small slow crawl to the next car. Good to go. A little bit of a turn here. And again, I'm just going to be watching as we go from dark to light in this instance under this tunnel. Is it going to go wide? Is it going to cut it short? Okay, come on. Keep going. Hold that line. Give me the precision. A little bit of an adjustment there. I don't mind the adjustments. I just would prefer to not need to make them if it doesn't have to. If whatever's there is static and doesn't move, it should be able to calculate that and hold the line the same way a human can calculate it and hold the line. That curve was kind of close. Okay. Good job. Nice smooth slowdown. Great. So this next section should be interesting just because we have to go straight. This guy's just stopping in the middle of the road, taking his time. I'm going to keep going. Nice strong acceleration, maybe a little bit too strong here. And the 25 probably should come down a little bit. 3 miles an hour. But we're going to get into I guess we could stay here. We're going to hit a roundabout coming up. And I want to hit this roundabout from a different angle just to get a good sense of how it takes it. But we're going to hit this roundabout, have to go all the way around, so we'll have to stay in the outermost lane. So it's going to go to now the left lane, which is going to put it in the innermost lane of the roundabout. And they don't have to make a lane change mid-turn, which can always be dangerous and challenging to do. The outermost lane can go all the way around and be in the lane that needs to be in to make the exit. But we'll see what it decides to do as it gets closer. But right now, it decided to go into the left lane. which is great because all these parked cars are here, but not great for staging the roundabout. All right, here we come. Coming to the roundabout with a yield, so we'll need to come to a bit of a stop. And what do I know? It's this lane goes that way, and it had to be in this lane. So great. Guess I was wrong, but it still needs to be in the outermost lane of the roundabout. So that's going to be key. Car coming, car coming. It's making a go for it. Very aggressively. That car didn't even yield. Pretty bad. That car didn't yield. Now we got to get over. Turn signals on. Good job following it out. Right. Good job handling that situation. It kind of froze for a little bit because those cars were not trying to yield. So it kind of froze for a little bit to try to anticipate what someone might do. And let me stop talking because this is the last curb and it's close, but I'll take it. Good job holding the line on this one. This is a good one. Come up to our full stop. And we'll go in. Pedestrian slows down, navigation complete. All right. Another pedestrian, let you go. I'm gonna turn in this way. Sir, in the middle of the road? Cool. All right, so that's it. That was our first drive on FSD 12.5.4, hardware 4, AI 4, whatever you want to call it. It did pretty good. It did pretty good. So overall, in this particular drive, this second part of the drive, I want to give it high levels of confidence. Confidence was sky high for me. No real issues with confidence. No real issues with comfort either. Very comfortable drive, very smooth drive, methodical and intentional with its maneuvers, which is what I can appreciate. And overall, it was just a comfortable drive from beginning to end since we took off from the shoulder and kept going. Obviously, the hard braking for the pedestrian or the person with the dog on the side was just predictive slowdowns, what it thinks the person's going to do. I'm okay with that. Wasn't uncomfortable. It just was something that was odd because, again, that person was on the sidewalk. So it is what it is. In terms of decision making, I think it made all the right decisions. Probably could have got away with just going as opposed to stopping for that person with the dog. But it made all the right decisions, made thoughtful, intentional maneuvers to go around cars that are turning, to course correct a mid-turn if it felt like the trajectory wasn't there, etc. So I was happy about that. And safety, felt like I was pretty safe throughout the entire drive. Didn't feel like I was in danger other than the danger of my rims, which Tesla has to now earn back. FSD has to earn back. Hitting two curbs and narrowly escaping damage is not good. It's knocked my personal confidence way down, which gives me more anxiety around those curbs. So I get a little bit more anxious there. But overall, I think my body, myself, the car itself, I think is going to be safe. It's my wheels, my tires, the rims, etc., that I'm nervous for. So overall, great drive. I want to still give it a Uber Black levels of confidence, a 4 Uber Black levels of confidence in terms of the drive experience. That's where it is. I think it has a long way to go before it gets level 5, which is professional car service. I was riding professional car service, not too long ago, and it's leaps and bounds over where we are right now here. Big gap between where we are right now with FSD and what that person can do, or those people can do behind the wheel, carrying persons from one place to the next, especially in challenging conditions like New York City, which we will make our way back to soon. But I need to get my confidence back with the curbing of the wheels because New York City has potholes, it has sharp corners of edges, all kinds of stuff that's out there that I just want to make sure that we have a good, strong sense of proximity here. and the car knows exactly where it needs to go and where it doesn't need to go. Okay, but let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you thought about this drive. Let me know if you got this build, hardware 3 or hardware 4, and what your experience has been like. I'll still keep working on early access to maybe get the latest update next time, and making sure that I'm in good standing there with the new car versus the person who has my old car, having fun with it. But let me know in the comments what you think, and until the next time, enjoy your day, enjoy your Tesla.